Let's talk now to Michael Davis, who is a global fellow at the Woodrow Wilson International Center in New York. Great to have you with us on the News Hour today. Let's talk about the kind of influence that China has over events in Myanmar. Does it have a strong presence and potentially the ability to influence things that are happening there?
Yes, it does. And of course, it's had influence both with the military regime and with the NLD leadership over the recent years. So China's kind of in a weird position because I think it wants to protect its economic interest and it wants to bet on stability. So if the military's in charge, it appears to the public that it's supporting the military. And so this is why there have been attacks on Chinese businesses and so on.
So influence is one thing, but is there any possibility that it will actually take any kind of action?
I don't think so. I think it's China's game generally to at least try not to interfere in the internal matters, at least openly, although it's operating behind the scenes in many ways, and its influence is felt. And I think it's playing a dangerous game because it realizes there's already about 1 million refugees that have fled from the country in regard to the Rohingya problem on the border. But the country is made up of multiple minorities, and some of them armed. It's striking that you just had a story on Syria. But, you know, Myanmar in some ways could pose a similar risk if this gets out of hand. And so I think the better view is to come forward with some kind of attempt to settle the matter. But the Chinese don't seem to be able to do that. They're somewhat stuck in the position they're in of upholding the military.
So you said that there's a potential risk of things getting out of hand. How do you see it playing out?
Well, my guess is that the protest is going to continue. They've shown a willingness to do so in the face of, I think now, if I recall correctly, about 60 people have been killed. So it's a very determined protest effort. People had a taste of a sort of quasi-democracy in recent years, and I don't think they want to go back to a dictatorship. So if they persist, and then some of the regional groupings that have their own military and armed forces, some of them even sometimes supported by China, get into the game, you could have a civil war there. So I think it's a very risky situation, and it's one that I think the international community should be paying very careful attention to.
Okay, Michael Davis from the Woodrow Wilson International Center. Great to get your thoughts today. Thank you.